calendar is going to be the McAllister versus Bowman matter. I see counsel that you are here for Ms. Bowman, and I see that it looks like Ms. McAllister is present as well, or Mr. McAllister. I'm not sure because I cannot.
I am a female and I am present.
Okay, well, I cannot see you, so you're going to have to make sure you adjust your camera so that I'm able to see you. And what I'm going to do is place you in the breakout room with the attorney and Mrs. Bowman to see if you guys are able to reach a resolution. So press accept or join. And counsel, I'm going to, would you like your client in that breakout room with you?
Yes, Judge.
Perfect. Anybody else that needs to be in there? Just the three of you guys?
Just the three of us.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to send that breakout invitation in just a second, and then we will get back to y'all's case as soon as y'all are done talking. Thank you. I see that you've returned on your matter. Was there an announcement on your case?
Judge, Ms. McAllister did not want to negotiate anything, so we are prepared to move forward. We are ready when at the court's pleasure.
Thank you. And Ms. McAllister, do you have your video and audio? I cannot hear from you if you don't have audio and also video.
Your Honor, I've already sent the court images. In a previous court hearing, Ms. Bauman copied images of me from the hearing and has posted them all over the internet in very demeaning ways. I forwarded to the court in email 1 examples of it. The previous court then gave me permission to appear on camera as I am right now. She also made a lot of inappropriate comments about my appearance and how I was skirting by, not appearing on camera so she could make more attacks against me.
Okay, well, I'm not aware. What are you talking about previous appearance?
Regarding another hearing regarding an individual that she was involved with.
Okay, are you talking about a hearing here in DeKalb County?
DeKalb County, correct. It was for a extended protective order, August 16th and August 1st.
Okay. So I don't know about that. I normally, because again, we're not in person, so I'm a little bit more formal about certain processes. Mrs. Bowman has been made aware, and I don't know if and her attorney obviously is present and would make her aware of that as well. And I think I've already stated that it is against the rules of court for anyone to record, and people could be held in contempt. So that's not typically going to be a reason.
Well, Your Honor, I mean, I'm
sorry, but she still has posted them as of last month.
So it's not a debate when it comes to me. In order for me to have a hearing, because we're already doing it virtually, I still need to be able to see people and at least be able to verify that they are who that they say that they are at this point. So, like I said,
may I request to do it in the breakout room? Have you? I mean, I would ask that you look at the email.
Okay, so Ms. McAllister.
Yes.
No. I'm not going to make that type of exception for that reason. If she should do something, she'll be held in contempt, and there will be a contempt hearing. And she is here with her attorney. I don't know if she was with her attorney before, but again, she is subject to contempt and any penalty, including and up into jailing for contempt. So that's not going to be a reason for me as far as that is concerned, especially with the contempt remedy. Counsel, is there a pending restraining order that you're aware of?
No, Your Honor, there is no restraining order between my client and Ms. McAllister. There never has been one. I think that Ms. McAllister is making reference to a separate case that she had. I'm not aware of any photos that were taken during any sort of previous hearings. I did serve a copy of my entry of appearance upon Ms. McAllister via U.S. mail. She has not presented me with any evidence. And the only evidence that I have and that I've been able to see is what my client has provided me, which is just online Twitter accounts.
Okay. So again, Ms. McAllister, if you need some time to get yourself together, I can give you that. But again, it's still very much so court. I would require that of the hearing. The attorney also has a right to be able to see and cross-examine whomever he is cross-examining. So I wouldn't make that exception for this hearing. And again, Mrs. Bowman is aware, as is everybody that's in this hearing this evening, that I obviously take that very seriously. And that is something where there could be a contempt order filed against that person and a contempt hearing held if they are found to have been in violation of the rules of court, and their remedies are up to jail for that type of infraction. So I am going to require that. I mean, no, we do not do these types of hearings in person.
The extent
so Ms. McAllister, you cannot continue to interrupt me whenever I'm talking. That's just not something that we do. So if you would like to have a hearing, we're doing it virtually because we need to do it virtually. I do need to be able to establish who you are. And then also the attorney has to have the ability to be able to have a thorough and sifting cross-examination. Some attorneys argue that it's not sufficient to do that virtually, and they want that in person. So again, it's something that we're going to need to have you able to be seen for him to do that. The next thing would be, again, we do not do these hearings in person, unfortunately, at this point in time. So if you would like to move forward with that warrant application through our process, then you would need to do it this way. You also have the option of going to the police department and seeing if they will issue the warrant themselves, or going to the prosecutor's office and seeing if they will issue it themselves. But those are the only options. So we'll come back to your case shortly. Again, once you get yourself together and you're ready to appear.
I'm ready for speaker.
Okay. So one moment, let me also just give an announcement briefly from the other side, or from the other parties that have returned. I do see that Mrs. Simmons and the Ty Rivers matter has returned. The Ty Rivers can get their camera going. This is a warrant application hearing, so you would have the burden in this particular case to show that it is more likely than not that she did what you're alleging that she did. And then once you're done testifying, then the defendant's attorney would be able to ask questions of you. If you have any witnesses, you would have to ask your witnesses who, what, when, where, why type questions to get their testimony in. And then they would be able to be cross-examined by the defense attorney. And then if the defendant decides to testify, she would be subject to being cross-examined, which means being questioned by you. And then also, if she calls any witnesses, they would be subject to being questioned by you. If you have any evidence that you need me to see, you can just let me know. And I will need to show the attorney first, so he can let me know if he has any objection to me seeing it. And then if there is no objection that is legal, then I will see it. If there are legal objections, I'll hear them and make a decision. So let me start with Ms. McAllister. I'm going to have you raise your right hand if you don't mind. Do you swear and also affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Ms. Bowman, just to make absolutely certain, you did hear my admonishment about contempt and not recording the hearings, and understand that that could be subject to contempt and also jail time if hearings were recorded without permission.
I do, yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So, and let me just ask Ms. McAllister before we get started. Counsel has already told me that he's ready to go forward. You are ready to go forward, have all your witnesses, and have already sent us all of your evidence.
Your Honor, I did send emails to your clerk this afternoon already, all numbered with everything.
Perfect.
And my
Presentation, I'm going to reference them going along, so you can read them as follow along as I go into things.
So because it is a courtroom setting, you would have to ask for it to be introduced into evidence and shown.
Okay.
If there's something that you need or would like me to see, you can just let me know at that time and I'll have the clerk put it on the screen, but I have to allow the attorney to look at it first, unless you've already sent everything to the attorney.
The magistrate clerk did not tell me I needed to send it to anybody other
You
than
did not need to send it to him. I was just asking if
Okay.
you've already sent
Sure.
it to him. So if not, then I'll have to step away just for a moment for him to be able to see it. So you can go ahead. Counsel, you
And-
didn't have any preliminary matters? And-
No, Judge.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Mrs. McAllister, you have been sworn in. You can go ahead and begin with your presentation of evidence. And again, just let us know if there's something that needs to be shown.
Sure.
Your Honor, I have no personal relationship with Ms. Bowman. We had initial exchange in November of 22 via Twitter with her account, Dara Bowman. I have 2 active Twitter accounts, Case Study Facts and Life of Plot Twists. I have inactive Twitter accounts of No One, Scuba Diva, Hyba Diva, Bobble Adventure Cat, and 2 Degrees Marketing. I have personal Instagram and YouTube accounts for hiking, cats, and health. Since June 2023, I have been doxxed by 3 different Twitter accounts. Tucker Nature, which then created Hiker Babe Leslie less than an hour after Tucker Nature was suspended and subsequently locked. Then Hiker Babe Leslie was initially locked. Awkward Diva was created less than 2 hours later. Ms. Bowman regularly interacts, follows, and they mutually repost each other's tweets about me. At this point, I would like to ask the court to submit in email number 2 that I submitted and all of the attached screenshots.
So counsel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step away. I'm going to have the clerk go ahead and show the evidence to you. And if you can just jot down some notes, I'm going to try to go ahead and have her just show you everything so I don't have to step away multiple times. And if you have anything objectionable, just let me know whenever I come back, and we can just go through each document one by one, and we'll go in order as to what you have objection to and what you do not.
And Judge, I know this might be a little unorthodox, but I don't know how many emails are being sent by Ms. McAllister, how many pieces of evidence she is intending to try to introduce. I don't know if she'll be able to lay the proper foundation to introduce them, but I would appreciate at least a moment to review them, maybe in a separate breakout room with my client so that we could discuss these pieces of evidence, since this is the first time that we are seeing them, so we know what she's trying to make an allegation of?
So since you wouldn't necessarily have a right to any type of discovery at this point, I wouldn't do that. But again, I am going to just allow them to show on the screen the evidence. And then if there is some legal objection that you have to it, just let me know. And then we will come back. But I'll have her just briefly show each of you on the screen. And then I'll come back. I will be in earshot, even though I'm not going to be in eye shot. Or eyesight. So I don't inadvertently see something I am not allowed to see, just in case it is objectionable.
And Your Honor, just to let you know, these are her tweets. That's all that's being posted, and I've broken them down like how
Can't necessarily tell me what it is quite yet, because it may
I understand.
not come in. So give him just one moment to look at them, and then see if he has any objection to them coming in. So I'm going to step away, and I might actually, Madam Clerk, if you can just text me, because it sounds like she might be giving some explanation for some things that pop up on the screen. So I don't want to inadvertently hear something I can't unhear. So just text me or email me, because that will pop up and I can see the email. Email me once you're ready for me to come back, and that way I can go off the screen.
That's fine, Judge.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Is there anything that you don't want the court to present? Because you sent in everything to us. So
That was private health information that I was told was merely for the judge.
is there anything else that you sent into the clerk's office that you don't want me to show?
No, ma'am.
Okay. 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 Okay.
We're going to take a brief break, and I'm going to let my clerk go just for a few minutes to take a break as well. So while we're doing that, I know it's a little unorthodox, but let me pause and I just will handle some things that don't require the clerk's presence for about 5 to 10 minutes or so. Counsel, I don't know how far you are in. Ms. McAllister, based on what you submitted, what percentage of your evidence would you estimate we've already seen?
Well, I had sent them via email, grouped together, and I don't understand they're not going in order. So I would say that we're probably 75% there.
Okay, so about 25% left. Okay, so I'm going to have her continue showing them. Let me just ask precursory. Counsel, were there any images that you had an objection to me being able to see?
Judge, honestly, with this being a Twitter dispute, there is going to be a foundation issue. I don't know if foundation is going to be able to be laid by Ms. McAllister in the proper manner as required under Georgia law for these accounts. Then there are several pictures that she has that there's just no relevance to what's going on. There are emails exchanged between her and unrelated parties that she's attached to this. Again, foundation as to who these Twitter accounts belong to. Some are very clear who they belong to. Others of them, it's just completely up in the air as to who they belong to. And there are parties that aren't even present, parties that haven't been subpoenaed to testify, so that raises hearsay issues on its own. Then there are tweets that appear to have been doctored or edited by Miss McAllister herself. She's posted comments on them in red typing that have been altered to, I don't know, influence the court some way, somehow. But they aren't the original actual tweets. And some of them has even posted.
Okay, so let me
protected accounts, protected.
So let's do this.
There's a lot here, Judge.
We'll go through, since it seems as if there's going to be an objection to the majority or a lot of what's being shown. Instead of me just staying away, I'll just avert my glance so I cannot see whatever's being shown, and we can see if there's a legitimate objection to it simultaneously, so we don't have to take as much time. But let me go ahead and I'm going to give you guys about a 5-minute recess or 10-minute recess while I take 1 or 2 of these other cases really quickly, just to get some information on them. So you guys have about 15 minutes if you need about 15. Well, let's say 10 minutes. I'll just be on the safe side. Let's go ahead and get restarted. What we're going to do, Madam Clerk, on this one is I'm going to allow Ms. McAllister to continue with her testimony. Ms. McAllister.
Yes, ma'am.
Was there, let's see, there it is. The volume was a little down. Let me make sure that I understand. I'm going to ask a few questions for you. Were any of the communications directly sent to an email account associated, or a Twitter account or an Instagram that's associated with you? Were any of the messages, were you tagged in messages or messages sent to your messaging inbox?
She communicated via my Instagram. She communicated via my Twitter. Yes, ma'am.
So you were you tagged in posts, or were you sent messages to your inbox, or both?
She posted on my Instagram comments. She has commented on my Twitter. I blocked her. So then she went around by screenshotting and using my full name and acknowledging everything.
And so I would probably, I don't even know how we would do chronological order at this point. How are you aware that the account, why do you think that the account that was contacting you belongs to her? What makes you believe that the account belongs to her?
because she posted the Instagram posting on her own Twitter, made comments. The point was that she accused me of driving.
Well, don't tell me what.
I'm sorry. Anyway, she made
How do you know
commentary.
that account belongs to her? I guess is it in the name of Dara Bowman? How do you know that account?
It
belongs
is
to her?
Dara Bowman.
Yes,
Okay,
as
so
was her in that name. Yes, ma'am.
Both of them are.
which accounts are in those names?
The Instagram as well as the Twitter that harasses me.
Okay, and when you say that they're in her name, is it at her name for the
Yes, ma'am.
handle? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And it's her pictures, and she cross posts them from Instagram to Twitter, supporting all of this continued hate.
So I'm not on what's posted yet. I'm just trying to figure
I know.
out how you know what belongs to what. So you said there is a Twitter account and an Instagram account. Both of those accounts are in her name.
Correct.
Okay. And they also have pictures of her on those accounts.
Correct.
Okay. Were there any other accounts that you were trying to show pictures from?
I'm not sure what your question is.
So you're saying that she has a Twitter account and also an Instagram account in her name.
Yes.
So after the it's her name accounts.
Yes, ma'am.
And then on both of those accounts, her pictures are on those accounts.
Correct.
And when you say pictures, is it just a profile picture? Or are there other pictures throughout the account with her in them?
Her Instagram is private, but her name or her icon is her face. And again, there's consistency with cross posting between the two on Twitter.
And are you attempting to show tweets or Instagram posts from any other accounts other than just the two accounts that you told me about?
The only issues I am raising are the
No.
Twitter. Yeah, I mean,
Not
it's her tweets are
any
the only
other.
ones that I am addressing.
So all the tweets that you have presented in evidence come from a Twitter account in her name that says Dara Bowman or an Instagram account that says her name.
Correct. There may be others that are in the picture, but it is her words that I just submitted.
Not her words.
Well, her tweets.
And let's say I have Judge Neal on Twitter. And so it would be at Judge Neal, and then I would have whatever I said. And then if I had an Instagram account, it would say at Judge Neal, and then whatever I decide to type. All the tweets and all the Instagram messages that you're getting ready or trying to show me have at her name or at, and then her message after that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because whenever you started, you told me there was something by Tucker Nature or Hiker Babe Leslie or Aqua Diva. So
Yes,
those
ma'am.
none of those are all not her name. So I guess I'm
No,
trying to figure out
It was
what.
trying to give you context.
Okay, so you were just giving context. So
Yeah.
you're not going to show me
Yeah.
tweets from
No.
any of those accounts. You're just showing tweets
That's
from her account.
My focus is her account, tweets to me, at me. That's it.
And the Instagram.
Judge,
Counsel, let me ask: were the messages that you shown allegedly from an account in your client's name?
my client's name is Dara Bowman. The account that she is referencing is an account that says at Dara_Michelle. And when you get into it, there is a lot of what the tweets are. Miss McAllister isn't tagged in them. She isn't directly tagged through the Instagram tagging at this person, because it's my understanding that both Miss McAllister has blocked.
Well, no. So I don't want to get into the facts so much as just trying to understand the evidence that we're trying to show. Personally, know Mrs. Bowman?
As I said before, I've never met her, never spoken to her.
Okay. And are you aware, or do you think you know what her name is? Her full name?
Through people we both know, yes. There are mutual people we know that will confirm her identity.
Mutual people that we know.
Okay, are those people here to testify?
He may
Okay.
call them.
Okay, so I can't necessarily hear what anyone says that isn't here. So let's do this. Madam Clerk, let's just start with the first picture.
Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. The
Sure.
first picture from the first email, because to be honest, I got lost.
So whichever one you want to start with, just start with whichever one you want to start with, and whatever one you can track easiest, so we can make sure we get through all of them. So just start with whichever one track easiest, and we'll see if
Mhm.
that is. There's
And
any
Judge, may I make a comment here?
Sure.
At the court? Judge, we went through a total of 53 pictures while you were away. And even Ms. McAllister said that these are not in order, any particular order. There are
Right,
dates
so
that
let's do
jumped
this. I'm not
around.
going to hear any general argument yet because I don't know what we're arguing about at this point. So I'm going to go through it. I was trying to save some time and it looks like it did not save time. So we're just going to go through one by one. If you have an objection, let me know. If you don't, we'll keep moving and I'll see what her allegations are at that time. So Madam Clerk, just show the first one and then I'm still here. I'm just not looking and I'll let know if I can look once I hear what counsel's objection is to each individual one. Okay, so counsel, if anything is on the screen as of now, let me know if you have any objection to it.
Judge, other than objections to, I don't know who some of these people are that are the original tweeting. It's a Band-Aid mustache. I think that's how you would say it. And then a picture that my client had apparently posted. And it just says, well, you can see it for yourself, Judge.
Okay, so you
She's
have no
not tagging it.
objection to this one.
Judge, if I object to every single one, we're going to be here all night. So I don't want to be here all night, just like I believe everybody else doesn't want to be here all night.
Okay, so you have no objection then.
I'm going to let this one in, Judge, because
That's
you'll be able to
fine. You
see.
don't even have to tell me why. I just, if you're no objection, there's no objection. Okay. Okay, and Mrs. McAllister, what is your Twitter handle or your Instagram handle, just so I know?
I have a couple. In these, she will reference me as either.
No. Only answer the question that's asked because we'll be
Okay.
here all day if people start giving me their individual thoughts about everything. So what are your Twitter handles and your Instagram handles?
My active Twitter handles are Case Study Facts and
Steady Facts,
Life of Plot Twists.
Life of Plot Twists. Okay, and do you have any other Instagram handles or Twitter handles that would have been in any of the messages that you're getting ready to show me so I can know which is you?
Yes, there will be references to No One, Scuba Diva.
So these are handles that you had at No One as your handle?
Yeah, they've been retired, but yes.
Okay, so No One.
Scuba Diva,
Okay,
Hiking Diva,
okay.
Bobble the Adventure Cat, and 2 Degrees Marketing.
So I just need to know all of the ones you have. Okay, so we can move to the next picture, Madam Clerk, and then counsel, just let me know if there's any objection to the next
Judge,
one.
the only objections to this one is there's a date issue and we don't know who. There's going to be a foundation and a date issue as to when this was actually posted, what's going on here.
Okay, so you would have an
with it.
objection. Okay, so Madam Ms. McAllister, are you able to tell the dates of when this one or what this was posted?
I absolutely can go back and give you the exact date. It was actually in the past month, but I can give you an exact date if you would like me to while we're researching this.
Okay, so it was within the past month, and then
Yes,
what was the
ma'am.
other question that you had, counsel?
Judge, I mean, just it's a picture, so obviously the foundation is where it is and when it was posted, who it is posted to. She, I believe, said that Hiker Babe Leslie is not one of her accounts.
Correct.
Okay, so Hiker Babe Leslie is not one of your accounts, and this is
No,
something
that's one of
The accounts that's been stalking and attacking.
It doesn't matter unless is
Correct.
this a picture of something that someone sent directly to you, not someone that the defendant sent directly to one of your Instagram or one of your Twitter accounts or tagged
No.
you? Okay, so I don't need to see this one.
This is my
what's the-
image of
No.
her.
No.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next one, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Judge, same objection as previous. It is not directed towards her. It is not in her Twitter.
Okay, perfect. So let me
Feeds.
ask Mrs. McAllister, is this something that is directed directly to you or sent to your email, your inbox?
No.
Okay, so I won't see this one either. Let's move on to the next one. Any objection?
Judge, same objection, not directed to her, not to any of her direct Twitter accounts.
Okay, Ms. McAllister, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I won't see this one either. We can move on to the next one.
Same objection, Judge.
Okay, Ms. McAllister, is that true with this one as well?
I need to ask a question regarding foundation because
Not right now, and I can't give you legal
Because-
advice, which means, hold on, I cannot explain the law to you. That's what a lawyer would do. So I cannot, the only thing lawyers do, we don't bill things, we don't fix anything. All we do is give our words and our opinion on what something means in the law. So me telling you what foundation is, how to lay foundation, things of that nature, will be providing legal advice. I cannot do that. I cannot answer necessarily those types of questions. So the only question I have for you right now is this something that was sent directly to you or to one of your email addresses or to one of your accounts, your Twitter or Instagram account?
well, actually, Your Honor, all of these were sent to me
Was
because
this sent to you by the defendant?
not
Was
by the
it-
defendant because she
Okay.
had me blocked.
No.
Okay.
Not overtalk me. So
Yes,
again,
ma'am.
I'm gonna be as very clear as I can possibly be. We're already about at 8 o'clock, so I want to try to get this done before too much longer, which is why I'm being a little bit more heavy-handed than I was earlier. But we're going to
May-
move past this one.
If I could maybe help us
No.
move faster, not dealing with these exhibits.
Do you not wish to present exhibits anymore?
I was simply going to say that if I can touch on a couple of points, that maybe then we could move faster through the exhibits because it appears that her attorney isn't necessarily aware of some of the points that I made.
No.
Okay.
Let's go to the next picture.
Judge, it's the same objection.
Okay, Ms. McAllister,
This isn't-
was this sent to you directly from the defendant, from
No.
her Instagram or Twitter? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Any objection?
Same objection, Judge.
Okay, was this sent directly to you from any of her accounts? Okay, perfect. We'll move to the next one. Thank you. Any objection?
Same objection.
Okay, Ms. McAllister, is he correct?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move to the next one. Thank you.
Same objection, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. McAllister?
This was taken from my Instagram. Stalking. But
Okay, so
otherwise,
this
no,
one
she
was
didn't send it
sent
to me.
directly to you from her?
No. Removed
Okay.
from my Instagram.
So it was not sent to you from her?
No, she took it off my Instagram.
Okay, no, that's not going to be relevant. So we'll move to the next one. Any objection?
Same objection, Your Honor.
Ms. McAllister?
No.
Okay, we'll move to the next one.
Judge, just foundation.
Mrs. McAllister, can you let me know a little bit of background about where this came from?
This is via DMs on Twitter, and it's actually out of order. But I told Dara that we were not going to be communicating anymore based on some of her behavior, that I wished her well. And that was the end of our communication. And then Dara then blocked me and then proceeded to start all of this.
Okay, so counsel, I'll allow this one. Let me look at this one.
But Your Honor,
Oh,
there's
one
two
second.
more that are before it that will kind of make more sense.
Well, we're going to go in the order that we have.
Yes, ma'am.
On. And again, if y'all can just refrain from interrupting, I promise I'll make it go a little bit more smoothly. Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
Okay, perfect. Give me one moment to review it. Okay, we can go to the next one. Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, perfect. Give me one moment to review this one. Okay, we can move to the next one.
No objection.
Perfect. One moment. Okay, we can move on to the next one.
Same objection.
Okay. So was this sent to you by the defendant?
No, it was me sent to her.
Okay. So we will not do that then. This was sent to you by the defendant?
No, this was my message to her again.
No. I don't need an explanation about what it is. So it's not something that's sent to you by her, or no, something she tagged you in?
Because she blocked me, she would.
No,
enable-
my only
No.
question is,
No.
Okay, so if it's no, I won't see it. We'll move on to the next one. Any objection?
Yes, it's her own tweet.
Okay, so Ms.
Ms. McAllister's on
McAllister, is this
Correct.
something? Okay, perfect. So we'll move on to the next one. Is there
Your
any-
Honor, I disagree on this because she is responding to people I am interacting with.
No, that's not the same as talking to you or sending you a message. So she did not send any messages directly to you or tag you in any posts.
Because she just included my tweets. Yes, correct.
She did not tag you. So it was not, you would
Good.
not have been made aware of it except if someone else told you. Question is that all you will need me to see if we look at that one?
No, but I thought I would at least get the ball rolling.
Okay, so if there's still going to be something that I need to see and we don't know where it is in this pile of stuff, let me just keep going through it. We'll try to get through it as quickly as possible. I'm assuming that we're at least 50% through at this point.
Well,
No, Your Honor.
Clerk has gone through quite a bit, and so a lot of these,
that you are,
So unless you're able to tell me that you're going to put together everything that was directly sent to you from Ms. Bowman and only from Ms. Bowman, not anything where she references you to other people, but simply if you're going to be able to compile a list of evidence that is only from her directly to you, if you can do that, then we can pause for you to do that. That's the only reason I would
the
pause.
only,
other thing that I would advise the clerk to go into is the email that's number 10, where it's actually
she
Okay,
makes
so
calls.
again, Mike, listen to my question. Are you able to direct us to the exact emails that meet the criteria that I've just discussed that are only from Ms. Bowman, from the accounts that you said are associated with her that are directly tagging you or DMs to you? Are you able to do that?
The email number 10 isn't about email. It's about her making calls.
So again,
harassing me.
can you identify every piece of evidence that is going to fall within the parameters that I said I would consider?
I believe that email 10 with the attachments will, and then
Okay,
I am
so-
sending,
And then you're going to send the rest. So once we look at email 10 and then whatever you send now, will that be all of the evidence that you need to present?
I believe so.
Okay, then that's fine. So again,
I'm-
if you can do that, then that's fine. So,
I'm not really good at multitasking, but I'm trying to do it right now. Yeah.
okay, so if you can send that and you're, just so I can make certain, again, if we look at email 10 and then whatever you're sending now, that should be sufficient for you to prove your case in your mind.
It's a start.
Not as it a start, because again,
Yes, ma'am.
otherwise, so okay, so Ms. McAllister, I'm trying to be as patient.
I am too. You have to understand that
No,
I
no, no, no,
understand-
no, no, no. This is not a discussion. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not anybody's friend at this point. Judge
understand.
that is charged with keeping order in the court and making sure we move the process as swiftly as possible. So I need to understand, if you cannot tell me that you can send an email that connects all of the documents that we need to see that don't violate what I've already said is not going to be admissible, unless you can tell me that you can get all of that sent in one email and also us looking at number 10, email number 10, then we're going to need to continue doing what we're doing now so that we can make sure that we see all of the evidence and we're not skipping anything that is possibly admissible and that you think is possibly needed to prove your case. So can you tell me definitively that you can send me everything I need to see, including number 10, that you feel will be sufficient to prove your case?
because we're going out of order, I have been going through kind of looking. So
That's a yes or no question. So do you think you can do that?
I think I can.
Okay, so go ahead and get together everything that you think that I need to see that doesn't violate what we've already indicated. And then we'll also look at email number 10. We're going to take a brief recess so you can go in and get that taken care of. Just put in the chat feature that you're done whenever you're done so that we'll know that you're done. Counsel, I'm going to take a brief recess on your case so that we can see if she can get that done. So that might take some time off of what we need to do this evening. So Ms. McAllister, just send us a chat whenever you're ready to let us know that you're ready to go. So you can just send to everyone saying, I'm ready and I've sent the email. Okay, counsel, any objection?
Judge, yes, it's the same objection. This is not to Miss McAllister.
Okay, so Ms.
This is-
McAllister, is this anything that was sent directly to you from the defendant or where you were tagged? By
This
her?
this is out of order. There is a subsequent email that is addressing this from Dara contacting them.
Okay, so is this something that she sent you directly to your inbox?
No, just use my full name repeatedly.
Okay, then no. So I wouldn't see that either. Let's move to the next one. Is there any objection?
Same objection, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. McAllister, is this something that was sent directly to you from the defendant? Okay,
Again, it
perfect.
ties in.
Unfortunately, no. So let's move on. You able to see it now, counsel?
Yeah, I don't know who this is directly directed to. I don't.
Okay, so Madam Ms. McAllister, is this something that was sent to you from the defendant directly or tagging you?
Yes, this is my Instagram. She also uses my Twitter case study facts on this
Okay,
account
so
and
she
uses my full
tagged
name.
you and she sent it to your Instagram. Okay, so I'll
Yes,
look
ma'am.
at this account. So give me one moment. And when is that text from or that post from, Ms. McAllister?
It was on, I'm sorry, let me double check. August 28th.
That was the only one. Okay. So at this point in time, I'll let you tell me what else you think that she did that was harassing directly to you, understanding that I'm not going to consider anything that she said to other people about you unless, again, you were tagged in those posts.
Correct. Well, I would like to address this post because this is what I've been talking about all along. I did not have 2 TROs dismissed against my mother. I submitted proof in here, which we can pull up if you want me to reference to confirm it. The first protective order I had against my mother was dismissed for failure of service. So they refiled. It was going on the same time as all of the doxing was going on. So I requested that they dismiss the secondary protective order against my mother because there was
Can I object to this?
Okay, what is the
Line of
basis for your
testimony is relevant.
So unless this is not a civil court, so you wouldn't be able to sue for slander or defamation, false statements here. That would be a civil matter if that were in fact the case. So the only thing I'm concerned with is any communications that were threatening any type of violence or any type of physical confrontation with you, or any repeated contact directly with you after you've told her not to have contact with you. So do you have any other information pertaining to her either sending you messages that were harassing directly to your page, tagging you in a post, or
that's one example where she tagged me.
yes, were there any other examples of her tagging you?
She just used my full name otherwise.
Okay, so she never tagged you in any other post
because she blocked me.
Okay. Did she send you any other messages saying anything to you that you found offensive that were sent to your message or inbox?
Repeating that I had false protective orders against my mother after knowing that it was untrue is about as intimidating and as hurtful and as harassing as you can potentially get.
Okay. Did she do anything other than that?
Other than the things that you can't consider for the past 4 months? So far, no.
Okay. So she has not had any direct contact with you. She's just talked about you a lot.
With a lot of untrue, hurtful things. And I have not said a word to this woman since July. I haven't instigated a thing. And the things that she said are unforgivable and hurtful. I mean, to take a protective order out against your mother is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And for her to continually talk about
Judge, I'm going to continue with my objection with these statements.
What I will do is I'm not going to go through with any questioning at this point because I don't think that you've met the burden. There are different types of courts. There's civil courts and then there are criminal courts. When I'm in the civil court, there's some things I can do that I cannot do in a criminal court. In the criminal court, the only thing I can consider is whether or not you would have felt threatened, and not threatened as in you didn't like it or you felt it was unnecessary or cruel even. Threatening would be something where someone's saying that they're going to do something to harm you, or something that would make a reasonable person believe that there is some type of physical harm that is going to occur to them. So that
he's made, I mean, not tagging me, but constantly saying I'm going to get consequences and karma, not directly at me.
No. So did she say anything where she said she was going to do something to physically harm you, or something that?
And she's in California, so I'm not.
So again, she did not say anything where she would physically harm you. Okay. And then the next tier would be, did she say anything was she communicating with you directly after you've told her that you did not want her to contact you? So you've said that the only contact that you had was that post that I saw, and then her saying the things about your mother, but she has not made any direct contact. So that means she has not sent messages to your inbox, called you via telephone, or tagged your accounts in her post.
Not that I can recall.
Okay. So those would be the requirements that I would need for a criminal act. None of those are met. So I'm not going to issue a criminal warrant. I am not making any statements about anything civilly related. But again, as far as the criminal arena is concerned, I cannot do anything at this point in time. However, if you disagree with my decision, your remedies will be to talk to the solicitor who prosecutes misdemeanors in the state of Georgia, or you can speak with a detective or a police officer if you disagree with me and if you believe you can convince them to move forward on some type of criminal matter. But that will conclude today's hearing for this matter, and I will dismiss because it doesn't reach the criminal standard at this time. So all three of you are free to go at this point.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good evening.
So Ms. Carter,
Okay,
what I'm
thank
going to
you.
need you to do is relocate to another room where you're not able to hear us or see what's going on. So somewhere with a door away from where you are right now. And when we need you, we'll come get you.
Okay. Hold on, baby.
Okay, so Mrs. Rivers is your burden. So you'll need to go ahead and present your case at this time.
Okay, so am I just explaining what happened?
Yes, we are here today because you're alleging that there was a battery that was committed. I can give the exact, and Mrs. Simmons, you did receive the notice that put you on notice of what the charge was.
Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect. So I only want to hear about that particular case. So I don't want to hear a lot of background about, past issues or anything other than just what happened on the incident date and the incident time that was alleged. So you can go ahead and begin, Mrs. Rivers.
Okay, I had received a couple of text messages from Katrina Carter. She wanted her hair to be done. I do hair. I'm a hairstylist. I do hair. So in the event, okay, let me backtrack. My mom was out on a cruise. So originally I needed a babysitter for 2 weekends. They were trying to charge me at first. So I told them, don't worry about it. I thought it's going to him to his godmother. The weekend, the incident, Katrina Carter, the granddaughter, she texted me and asked, could she get her hair done? So I responded and asked her, what did she want done? She said a wig. I don't really do wigs like that. I'm new to doing wigs. I'm really a braider and I do locks. So I didn't respond back at first. So then after a while, I responded back to her. And she was like, well, I'll watch the baby. This is text messages.
Judge, we can't hear her.
Ms. Rivers, you're going to need to speak a little bit more loudly and clearly and make sure that your device is turned up as loudly as possible.
Let me make sure. Okay, yes, turn all the way up. Can you guys hear me a little better now?
Okay, you can go ahead.
Okay. I responded back to her messages, asking what she wanted. She said a wig. So she texted me and she was like, I'll watch the baby for you to do my hair. So I texted her back and I responded and I said, well, I already have a babysitter for this weekend. So I technically don't need you all to watch him, but I will watch him. I mean, you can watch him in lieu of getting your hair done if you want to. So when I spoke to her previously, when she first asked me about doing the wigs, at the time, I was over there probably maybe once out the week or maybe 2 times out the week. So I gave her a price. So when she asked to watch the baby, of course, I'm not going to charge you full price because you're watching the baby. Supposed to been for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. The incident happened on Sunday. So I told her I would do it for her for $70 instead of $150. But the $70 was going to be split between Saturday and Sunday for her watching the baby for those 2 days. I went and took him Saturday. She took him, she watched him. She asked me to do her hair when I picked him up on Saturday, rather Sunday. So I said that was fine. So when I went to pick him up, I proceeded to do her hair. So I asked her, I was like, well, are you still going to watch him tomorrow? She said, yes. What time are you going to bring him? I said, I'm not sure what time him and his dad is going to wake up, which is her uncle. I said, it might be a little later because it's Saturday. So she was okay, we'll be here. The dad ended up getting into it Saturday night. I went Sunday morning to drop Kari off to Miss Sharon's house where they all live at, except for the dad, just the granddaughters and Miss Sharon. I went to drop him off. As soon as I get there, now first I was calling on the way over there and I wasn't getting a response. But on Saturday I was calling and I didn't get a response. So I still proceeded to drive over there as his dad told me to. And she was there, but she said she was asleep. So on Sunday, I figured maybe she probably was asleep also. So I still proceeded to drive over there. So when I got there, Miss Sharon was coming out. It looked like she had maybe a church dress on or something. So I was like, hey, Miss Sharon, is Katrina in there? So she was like, yes, she's in the house. So I went in the house. Miss Katrina was sitting on the couch. I was like, hey, Katrina, I got Carter here. He's out in the car, but he's asleep. I'm about to go get him and bring him in. She looked at me and she said, okay. I went to the car, and as I pulled him out of the car, Katrina walks up to the car and she goes, well, I have something to do. I can't watch him anymore. So I looked and I was like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? I was like, I got to go to work. So then I asked, I was like, can your grandparents watch him? So then she was like, well, how much do I owe you for the hair? So I was like, well, you didn't have to pay me. You just had to watch him. So I was like, well, I guess you could just split it to 75 down the middle. You watch him for Saturday. So I guess you pay me the difference for Sunday. So she said, okay, I'm about to go ask my grandparents. And then she went into the house. So she was taking a little minute. So I walked in there. Now this is family, so I didn't think it would be a problem for me to walk in there. I'm over there probably once or twice a week. So I walked into the house. So Miss Sharon and Mr. Reggie, which is her husband, I think it was Miss Sharon first. They were just like, well, what's this Katrina saying that she has to pay you for her hair? So I was like, I didn't say she has to pay me for her hair, but she said she couldn't watch him. So if y'all can't watch him no more at the last minute, I have to pay somebody else to watch him. So she asked me and I told her, just give me the difference for the one day. So then they was like, oh, well, they started saying a whole bunch of stuff. Well, she's not paying you anything. She's a child. We're not giving you nothing. You should have talked to us first before doing her hair. But these little girls, her and her sister, I've been doing their hair for a little over 3 years now. They always text me. The parents don't ever text or call me. They always have the little girls text or call me. They usually give me about $50. First, I just was doing their hair for free. His dad, which is their uncle, stopped it. He was like, no, they need to pay you. So they started asking me, what we need to pay you. I never gave them a number. Just whatever y'all can do. They started paying me $50. So I'm like, well, Miss Sharon, I never had to talk to y'all to confirm a hair appointment with them. Y'all usually, they ask me, I say yes, give them a time and date. Y'all drop them off, pick them up, and y'all pay me. You see what I'm saying? They'll give the little girls the money and they pay me. So that's what I said to her. I was like, well, how am I supposed to know anything is different now, all of a sudden, when, you see what I'm saying, what's changed? So it was just a whole bunch of back and forth about them not paying me and me telling them, well, if y'all not going to pay me, I need somebody to watch me. So she's like, oh, well, and can't nobody watch him. We're not paying you anything. Down 911 help. So I said, Miss Sharon, if I call the police, they're going to make y'all probably pay me for doing her hair. Why do I have to call the police? You know what I'm saying? Over 30 something dollars. So I said, if y'all want to call the police, y'all can call them. All I'm asking y'all to do is watch him. So then they call his dad. So then I text his dad and I was like, hey, why do I have to do all this just to drop Kari off? So then I called him. The dad, which is Quatarian, picked up the phone. He's like, what's going on? So I told him, he said, okay, screenshot me the text messages from you and Katrina and send them to me. So while I was on the phone with him, so I left the mom's house because she was like, well, you need to get out of my house. She told me I was threatening her by telling her that if they couldn't pay me, I needed somebody to watch him, or if they couldn't watch him, just give me the difference so I can pay somebody else to watch him. She said I was threatening her. So that's when I left the house because I seen where it was going. So I walked out the house. When I walked out the house, that's when I contacted his dad. So now I'm outside of the driveway standing by my vehicle. So I told him, I was like, well, she said she's calling the police. So he was like, well, I'm on the way. Stay there. I'm 8 minutes away. I'm coming from, I think he said he was coming from River Road. So I said, okay. So I waited out there by my car. So I seen Miss Sharon come out. So she's like, can you, I think she asked me to do something. It sounded like she asked me to move or something. I don't know. I couldn't really hear her. So I walked up to her. So I'm like, Miss Sharon, you're hollering at me like I'm doing anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? All I asked y'all to do was to hold up y'all end of the bargain. So she was just like, well, you need to leave. Call the police. So I called the police. I said, okay, well, I don't want to leave. And then y'all tried to make it seem like, you know what I'm saying? I did something. So I probably need to sit here and wait for the police. So I sat outside the yard to get out their yard, so it was and I sat by my car. The dad pulled up and he pulled up. So he came to my car. So then he's talking to me. So he's like, I'm gonna just send you the money for the hair. So I was like, okay. So at first I told him, I was like, no, you don't have to send it to me, just send it to the babysitter. So he was like, I'm just gonna cash app it to you so you can go ahead and go. Everybody can go about their way. So I said, okay. So I got it in my car. So he's sitting, the dad is sitting in my doorway of my car. I'm sitting in the driver's seat in the car, the baby's in the back seat, sleep. So as he's cash apping me or trying to cash at me, Miss Sharon comes charging, walking fast out her yard. So then she goes, "You need to get her away from my house because you know how I get." So he's like, "Mom, just calm down. I'm about to pay her the difference so she can go ahead and drop the baby off and you can go do what you need to do." So then when he told her he was about to pay me, she walked around him and was like, "Yeah, you need to pay her because you know how I get." And she took her hand while I'm sitting in my driver's seat and my child is behind me. She took her hand and grabbed me by my face and grabbed my hair. So at this point, I'm like, "Miss Sharon," so I got up out my seat and I'm trying to close the door because the baby's in the car. So I got up out the seat. So I'm like, "Miss Sharon," I'm trying to get her hand off my face, but my head is like this. So I'm like, "Miss Sharon, you're tripping." I'm like, "Kari is in the car." So then he goes and separate us. So then the dad picks me up in the air. So I'm like, let me go. I'm about to go. Let me go. So he's still holding me up in the air. But that's because all his nieces, it was like 6 of them. All his nieces, Miss Sharon, her husband, one of the nieces' friend, and her mama. It's all of them. So they all trying to lunge at me this way, that way, but he's holding me up in the air, I guess, so they can't hit me. So I'm telling him, like, "Just let me go. I'm gonna get in the car and go." So when I say that, he lets me go. I hear Katrina's sister, Kamora. She goes, "Oh no, you didn't say something to my grandma." And then they all just start pulling my hair and hitting me. So then his dad, and this is where I was confused at because I don't know where his anger came from. At first, it seemed like he was trying to just diffuse the situation. But then he grabbed me by my hair. So I grabbed him by his hair. So I'm holding him, but they're all punching me. So then I hear his friend Craig goes, "Y'all let her go, let her go, let her go." So then me and him finally let each other go, but they're still, hitting me. But he had swung me to the floor. That's how my hair came out my head. Because he swung me to the floor by my hair. So at that point, I'm just getting hit on. The only person who was there trying to break it up or cared about this baby being in the backseat is his friend, the Quatarian's friend, my child's father's friend. Everybody else, and I think the little girl's mama may have been trying to break it up, but everybody else was out there. Y'all, and I weigh 107 pounds. It was no reason for all that over $35. None at all. And the fact that my child was sitting in that back seat and none of y'all gave a damn that he was sitting back there, I'm not letting this go. I'm not. I would never have did this to none of y'all.
Well, I don't hear Ms. Rivers the facts about what happened. So, and always watch your language as well because we're still in court. What did you actually see Mrs. Simmons strike you or feel Mrs. Simmons?
Yes, she was the start of everything. So as I mentioned previously, when his dad pulled up, I got off the phone. He told me to wait. He asked me to send him the messages with the conversation with me and Katrina about to hear. I sent it to him while I was on the phone. He said, "Okay, I'm 8 minutes away. Just stay there."
Well,
so I said,
what
"Okay."
exactly did Ms. Simmons do to you?
He was trying to pay me the money. She walked around him, took her hand, grabbed me by my face like I was her dog, and then took her other hand and pulled my hair. So now my head is down to the left. And that's when he came and like got in between us and like broke us up. But then he picked me up in the air. So I'm guessing maybe he knew that all the nieces was going to come because that's exactly what happened. So in the midst of us fighting, his friend was trying to break it up, but it was her, Miss Simmons, her husband, Katrina, the one who.
So what else did Ms. Simmons do to you? Because I'm not concerned with them since they're not physically here and there are no charges pending right now against them. What did?
Yeah, because I was told at the last minute that I should have had the juvenile court.
No, only answer questions that I asked. So
yeah, what I described.
Again, no, I'm still talking. My question specifically is, what did Mrs. Simmons do to you? I have right now that she grabbed you by the face and she pulled your hair. Did she do anything else physical to you?
Just punching and kicking.
Okay, you actually saw her punch and kick you?
Yes.
Okay. Was there anything else that she did?
I did it too, but her, yes, I did.
Judge, we can't hear her.
Punching. You saw her
Yes,
punching
ma'am.
and hitting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did she do anything else?
No, they just banging on my car when I was trying to leave.
She banged on your car as well?
Yeah, she was running around the car banging on the windows when I was trying to pull off.
Then also you said that she hit and kicked you. Do you know about how many times she hit or kicked you?
No, it probably lasted for about maybe 5 minutes or so. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one. But no, I don't know exactly how many times.
Okay. It was more than once that she hit and kicked you.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there any, was there any witnesses that saw this incident that you had that would be testifying for you tonight?
I was just there with my baby to drop him off. No,
Okay. And then do you have any video or anything of the incident?
no. But
Okay.
she has at her house.
Okay. At this time, Ms. Simmons, do you have any questions that you would like to ask Ms. Rivers? Not any testimony. I'll get to your testimony in a moment if you choose to testify, but do you have any questions for Mrs. Rivers right now?
No, I don't have any questions for her.
Okay.
That's
So,
fine.
Mrs. Simmons, this is a criminal matter, understanding that anything that you say could be used against you in a court of law at a later point in time if this goes to trial. Understanding that that this could again be held against you and used in a court of law, do you still wish to testify?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you're already under oath. You can go ahead and provide your version of events.
Okay, the day that she talking about the incident, Judge, I wasn't outside. Me and my husband and Katrina was in the house standing in the kitchen. And when Ty came in, she was saying that Katrina got a babysit for her. And I explained to her, I said, well, we getting ready to go school shopping. So she didn't knock on my door. She just opened the door and came in. I said, well, Katrina's getting ready to go school shopping. She said, well, somebody gonna babysit and somebody gonna pay me for doing her hair. So I said, well, Ty, you didn't talk to me original. Now, when Katrina gonna babysit, if I'm at work, she'll call me and say, well, Mom, Ty want me to keep the babies. It's okay. And I always tell her, it's up to you if you want to keep them. So she'll tell me, yeah. But this time she never told me that she's supposed to be keeping the baby. And I asked her, I said, Katrina, you supposed to be keeping the baby for Ty? She said, no. I never hit her. Me and her never got to fight. And the lady that she's saying that was fighting her, the lady never got out of her car. I walked past Ty and went out there because it was one of my great-granddaughter's friend's mother. And she was coming to pick Mora up. So I kept asking her, could you move your car so I can get out my driveway? She had me blocked in. I said, Ty, could you please move your car so I can leave? She never would move a car so I can leave. I came back in the house, and then that's when I dialed 911. I explained to her that she wouldn't let me out of my driveway. I didn't get to fight with her. I never put my hands on her. And all this she's saying, I walked past her because, like she said, she was standing in her car. I walked past her and went outside and was talking to the lady. She picked up Kimora and she left. All the rest of this stuff she's saying I did to her, I never did. When I walked past her, she hit me in the back of the head. I just kept walking. Now, her and my great-granddaughter got into it. Katrina is 14 years old. They got into it. I pulled Katrina and told her, let's go. Get in the car. Let's go. When we were standing out on the street. Ty backed out my driveway, which she could have just backed straight out. And when she backed out, she took and ran over Katrina with her car and knocked her down. I sent the video in and she left. And I continued to call the police to tell them what they had done. We ended up that day having to take Katrina to the hospital. We had to take her to Egerton. She had to have her feet and ankle were fractured. The doctor, she had to wear a boot on that where she hit her with the car. Okay, we've been going back and forth to Dr. with Katrina about this, her feet and her hitting her with the car. We also showed the video to the doctor when we got there down to, because first we went to children, then they told we had to go to Egerton for her so they can do MRI on her feet. But I never put my hands on her.
So you said you sent in a video?
Yes.
Okay, and the video, does it actually show her getting hit by the car or just the aftermath?
No, show her getting hit by the car. When the car hit her, show where she fell back.
So you actually see her on the video getting hit by the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. The Mrs. see. Mrs. Rivers, have you seen the video that they're talking about yet?
But this video actually came from the plaintiff anyways, Judge.
Okay, so let me ask this.
Yeah.
Mrs. Simmons, did you send us a video separate from the one that Mrs. Rivers sent, or did you send the same one that she sent? Was there more than one video of what occurred?
It was just one that.
Okay, so hold on one second. Let me ask this. Ms. Hector, did we have an email from the defendant at all?
No, ma'am. No, Judge.
Okay, so Ms. Simmons, can you right now, we're going to put the email address in the chat feature. Can you try to resend us whatever you think you sent earlier, the video that you think you sent earlier? Okay. Madam Clerk, just let us know whenever you get it.
No problem, Judge. I'm looking.
Okay. And Ms. Simmons, was there anything else you needed to tell me about what happened before we see the video?
No.
Okay. And Ms. Rivers, did you have any questions for Ms. Simmons based on her testimony? She does. So what I can do is, and Madam Clerk, you can just pull up the video anytime, whenever you're ready.
Sorry about that. No, I didn't know it was still muted. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's okay, Ms. Rivers. So Ms. Simmons, since Ms. Rivers, since you don't have any questions for her, I'm going to go ahead and call the next witness in. Okay, so Ms. Simmons, you can go get Katrina. Okay, so Ms. Katrina, you want to tell me about what happened at the house the day that first came over? Just go ahead and tell me what happened.
Yes. I think they already sent you the text message.
Well, just tell me what happened.
I texted her and asked her could she do my hair, and she said, "Are you going to pay in cash or are you going to pay with babysitting?" I said, "I don't mind babysitting because I babysit all the time," and she Dad, I forgot. Dad.
Well, no one else can tell you what happened. Just tell me in your own words.
Okay. So that's when she brought the baby over here Saturday. She included in the text message, I can babysit for today, like Saturday, so she can do my hair on Sunday. She didn't tell me that she was going to bring him on Sunday. And that's when the altercation started and saying that she was going to get her $35 because I wasn't going to watch the baby on Sunday, which is I watched the baby on Sunday. She didn't say nothing about Sunday.
So what actually happened whenever she came over on Sunday?
She blocked my grandmother in the bath. Not in the bath. She blocked my grandmother in the pathway of the driveway. And we kept asking her, because I had to go school shopping, kept asking her, can she move her car? And she wouldn't move. And that's when all the altercations start. My grandma was walking by, and that's when she hit my grandmother with her in the back of her head. And that's when I swung on her because she's not going to hit an elderly woman. And that's when I beat her up, and that's when my grandma called the police.
Okay, hold on one second, Ms. Rivers, let her finish. So you said what happened again?
That's when my grandmother called the police, and that's when the police took a long time, and that's when she came out, and that's when she hit me with her car.
Okay, so tell me what happened, the first physical thing that happened. What happened first?
She came to my house.
Okay, and what did she say?
She said, y'all gonna pay me my $35 or I'm gonna snatch this wig off your head.
Okay, then what else?
And that's when she went outside, and my grandmother said, she called the police, asked the police why she in my driveway. She was trying to get her out of the driveway.
Well, just tell me what people said and what they did. Don't tell me what you think they were doing. So just tell me, so what else was said?
What do you mean?
What did you say to her? So she said, somebody's going to pay me my $35. Then what else?
I got my grandmother, because the text message said I'm babysitting for Saturday, not Sunday. She just brought him out of nowhere.
Okay. So what happened? What did your grandmother or somebody say to her once she went to go get your grandmother?
She's talking to a child, something like that, and she should be talking to an adult about the money situation. She didn't say any money was involved.
Okay, and what happened after that?
That's when she was outside. She was on the phone with her friends. Like, she was like, they're gonna pay me these $35. I'm gonna snatch this wig out of your head.
Okay, and then what happened?
That's when we all came outside trying to get her out the driveway, and we tried to go to Walmart for school shopping, and she wouldn't get out the driveway, and that's why my grandma kept continuously calling the police, and they wouldn't show up.
Okay, so then what happened after that?
She walked out my grandma walked out the driveway, was talking to my sister's friend so she can go over her house, and that's when she hit my grandma, and that's when I started swinging on her, and that's when
Okay, you said you saw her hit your grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone make any physical contact with her before she hit your grandmother?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Did anyone say anything? Did your grandmother say or do anything to her before she hit your grandmother?
No, ma'am. She was talking on the phone to the police while she was walking out the driveway.
So what? She just walked up to your grandmother and hit your grandmother while she was on the phone with the police?
No, ma'am. The car was in the driveway. My grandma was walking out of the driveway, and she was talking to the police at the same time.
Okay, so when did Miss Rivers hit your grandmother?
At the end of the driveway.
And when you say she hit her, what did she hit her with?
She just punched her at the back of her head.
Okay, and then what happened?
That's when I started fighting her, and I dragged her out of her car.
Okay. And then what happened?
And that's when she started backing up, because that's when my sister, they were all gone because they didn't want to get any conflict, anything going on. That's when they left, and that's when she backed up. And it was like she intentionally hit me because she could have straight up backed out, but she just, can't, she backed out, then she hit me. That's when, because we have a cul-de-sac, I was in a cul-de-sac, and that's when she backed out, and then she hit me. I'm right here, and she hit me with her car.
And were you the only person hitting her, or did anybody else start?
No, ma'am. I was the only one.
Okay. You can go tell your grandmother to come back in, and you can go back out for me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play the video.
Exactly, like I said.
See, that's the only thing we need.
Play it one more time for me.
See, that's the only thing we need.
And I'm sorry, play it one more time.
See, that's the only thing we need.
Okay, is that the only video that you have, Ms. Simmons?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Mrs. Lewis, that you have some videos? Ms. Rivers, sorry, that you have some videos?
No, Your Honor, my phone was in the car the whole time. I was getting jumped on. That's the end of everything. That was after the fight, and that's when I had got in my car and was trying to leave. That they submitted the end of the video. She needs this, well, not she needs, but that's not the whole video, Your Honor. I thought she would have submitted the video from inside her home and the entire video from outside the home. They just submitted the end of the video with me trying to leave. That's when I stated to you earlier that after I got up off the floor and got in the vehicle, her husband, that's her husband, the guy, Miss Sharon, her husband, and Katrina was running around my car, banging on the window. So I threw it in reverse and tried to cut left to go out. But Miss Sharon was on the left side. Katrina was on the right. So I tried to curve my wheel to the right to go around. But by the time I did that, Katrina you can see in the video, she ran to the front of the car. I was trying to leave. And if you see, everybody else is gone. She told her other granddaughter, Kamora, and her friends to get in the car to leave before the police got here. She told her son to get in the car and leave because they was going to put a warrant out for him and I would want to see him arrested. They submitted the end of the video, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to issue a warrant in this particular case. The only person that is before me right now for a hearing is Miss Simmons. So I'm not going to issue a warrant right now for Miss Simmons. What I will do is let both of you know if you disagree with my decision or if you should want there to be prosecution for something else. You can always contact the police department and you can also talk to the prosecutor's office, but I'm not going to issue a warrant against Ms. Simmons based on the totality of the circumstances. So that will conclude this matter. Thank you both for appearing and you're both free to go. Thank you.